forces spotted. Enemy forces spotted.
Sniper!
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy forces 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 spotted. Enemy sniper spotted. Enemy forces spotted.
Hostile sniper spotted.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces spotted. Enemy infantry spotted.
Hostile force.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces spotted.
Enemy forces over. Hostile forces spotted. Over.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy sniper spotted.
Hostile sniper spotted.
Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy sniper
Requesting a medic. Over.
Enemy infantry spotted.
Snipers on the road.
Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy sniper spotted. Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces spotted.
I need a medic!
Transmitting on this mark.
First aid! Here!
Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy sniper spotted. Enemy infantry spotted.
Hostile forces
Enemy
spotted.
forces
Over.
spotted.
Enemy forces over.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces spotted.
Over.
Enemy forces spotted. Infantry spotted. Enemy forces spotted.
We need ammo. Hey, thanks.
UAV online and transmitting.
Hostile forces.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy infantry
Enemy troops
spotted.
identified. Do you copy? Enemy troops identified. Do you copy?
Enemy forces infantry spotted. Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces
Requesting
spotted.
ammunition. Over.
Enemy forces
Enemy troops identified. Do you copy?
Hostiles on the
Enemy
ground.
infantry spotted.
Hostile forces
Enemy
spotted. Hostile infantry spotted.
infantry
Hostile forces
spotted.
spotted. Enemy forces identified. Do you copy? Hostile infantry
Enemy
spotted. Over.
infantry
Hostile forces
spotted.
spotted. Over. Hostile infantry spotted. Over. Requesting ammunition.
Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy forces spotted. Enemy sniper spotted. Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy sniper spotted. Enemy forces spotted. Enemy infantry spotted.
Enemy forces over.
Enemy infantry spotted.
Hostile forces spotted. Requesting ammunition. Over. Hostile
Enemy
infantry
forces spotted.
Hostile infantry spotted. Over.
Enemy sniper spotted.
UAV transmitting on this mark.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces spotted.
Requesting ammunition. Over.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy sniper. Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy infantry spotted. Sniper spotted.
Thanks, Jim.
UAV
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy infantry spotted.
Thanks. I owe you one.
UAV transmitting on this mark.
Supplies
Enemy
at your
units on the
position.
move.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy
Requesting a
infantry
medic.
spotted.
Over.
Enemy infantry spotted.
Enemy units.
Hostile forces spotted. Over. Enemy activity. Do you copy?
I need a medic here! Enemy activity.
Let's move.
Hit it! infantry spotted. Over.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy
Enemy units on the
Grenade!
move. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Sniper.
Enemy forces spotted.
Enemy activity. Do you copy? Attack this position. Hostiles on the ground. Enemy units on the move. Enemy forces, enemy troops identified. Do you copy? Enemy activity. Do you copy? Good deal, thanks. Hostile forces spotted. Over.
Online.
Hostile forces spotted. Enemy activity. Hostile forces spotted. Over. Hostile forces spotted. Over. Do you copy? Enemy troops identified. Do you copy? Enemy units on the move.
Enemy forces spotted. Spotted.
UAV is
Enemy units on the move. Enemy units on the move. Enemy troops identified. Do you copy? Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy units on the move. Enemy units on the move. Hostile forces spotted. Over. Hostile forces spotted. Over. On the move. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy activity. Enemy forces. Over. Hostile forces spotted. Hostile forces spotted. Over. Enemy troops identified. Do you copy?
UAV offline.
Hostile forces spotted. Enemy forces. Over. Snipers on our perimeter. Enemy activity.
Armor,
Do you
here.
enemy forces. Enemy units on the move.
Online.
Enemy sniper. Enemy. Hostile forces spotted. Over.
Grenade!
Enemy forces. Over.
Enemy forces spotted.
Enemy units on
Enemy
the move.
forces spotted.
Enemy units on the move. Hostile forces spotted. Over. Hostile forces spotted. Over. Enemy troops identified. Do you copy?
UAV online and transmitting.
Enemy forces. Over. Enemy forces. Over.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces spotted.
Enemy units on the move. Identified. Enemy units on the move.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces.
Stop
Over.
yakking and get off this net.
Enemy sniper. Enemy forces spotted. Enemy infantry spotted. Well, enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces.
Position cleared and under control. Stop yakking and get off this net.
Enemy sniper. Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy infantry spotted.
Enemy activity on the ground. Enemy units on the ground. Hostile infantry spotted. Over. Enemy troops identified. Sniper. Hostiles on the ground. Hostile infantry spotted.
UAV
Over.
online and transmitting.
Enemy troops. Sorry, Chief.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy forces. Enemy sniper spotted.
We need
Enemy
ammo.
forces. Enemy sniper
Enemy
spotted.
units on the move. We need ammo. Enemy units on the move. Sniper. Hostile forces spotted. Enemy forces. Over. Hostile
Enemy
enemy
forces
troops
spotted.
identified.
Enemy
Enemy
forces
units
spotted.
on the move.
Online.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces spotted.
Enemy activity. Do you copy?
Enemy forces
Post is being overrun.
Go on.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces control restored. Well done. Enemy forces spotted.
Hostile forces spotted. Over. Over. Enemy forces. Over. Hostile forces spotted. Over.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy infantry spotted.
UAV transmitting
All
on
clear.
this mark.
Position under control. Out. Hostile forces spotted. Over. Enemy forces. Over. Enemy units on the move. Enemy activity. Do you copy?
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy
Position cleared and under control. We need ammo.
Enemy infantry spotted.
Enemy units on the move.
Online and sensitive.
Enemy infantry spotted.
Requesting ammunition. Over. Hostile forces spotted. Hostile infantry spotted. Over. Enemy troops identified. Do you copy?
Enemy infantry spotted.
Enemy activity. Do you copy? Hostile enemy troops identified. Do you copy? We need ammo. Enemy troops.
Enemy infantry spotted.
Hostile forces spotted. Over. Hostiles on the ground. Position cleared and under control.
Enemy infantry spotted.
Hostiles on the ground. We need ammo.
Enemy forces spotted. Supplies at your position. Enemy forces spotted.
UAV online and
medic.
sensitive.
We've lost control of an outpost. Medic!
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy infantry spotted.
UAV is no on fuel. Transmission ending.
Medic!
Throwing frags.
Enemy activity. Requesting ammunition. Over. Enemy activity. Do you copy?
UAV transmitting on this mark.
Enemy forces.
Enemy infantry spotted.
Snipers on our perimeter. Medic to this position. Over.
Enemy activity. Do you copy? Copy. Enemy units on enemy activity.
Medic to this position. Over. Sniper! Sniper! Hostile forces spotted. Over. Requesting a medic. Over. Enemy forces. Over. Hostile forces spotted. Over. Enemy active. Enemy units on the move. Medic.
Medic.
We've lost control of an outpost. Attack this position. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy units on the move.
Frag grenade.
spotted. Over.
UAV online and transmitting.
Hostile infantry spotted. Over. Requesting a medic. Over. Enemy forces. Over. Hostile infantry spotted. Over. Enemy troops identified. Do you copy? We've lost control of an outpost. Enemy troops identified. Do you copy?
Transmitting on this mark.
Hostile forces spotted. Over. Medic!
أحضر الإسعافات الأولية إلى هنا.
Online and transmitting.
Good deal, thanks. Hostile infantry spotted. Over.
UAV offline. UAV transmitting on this mark.
We're losing this battle. Start fighting or I'll find someone who can.
Move out! Attack here!
UAV offline.
Enemy troops identified. Do you copy?
UAV transmitting on this mark.
Thanks. I owe you one. Enemy forces. Over. Hostile sniper spotted. Over. Enemy forces. Over. Hostile forces. Enemy forces. Over.
UAV online and transmitting.
Thanks. Enemy troops identified. Do you copy? Move out! Attack here! Move out! Attack here!
UAV is
We need ammo!
transmission ending.
Hostile forces! Enemy troops spotted! Over!
Online and transmitting.
Enemy troops identified. Do you copy? Enemy troops identified. Do you copy? Hostile infantry spotted. Over.
UAV transmitting on this mark.
Enemy troops identified. Do you copy? forces, over. Enemy forces, over. Hostile infantry spotted, over.
First aid!
UAV online.
Hostile forces spotted, over.
Frag out! Throwing flag! المسعف! First aid! سقط أحد الرجال!
Hostile forces spotted, over. Hostile forces spotted, enemy forces, over. Hostile sniper spotted, over. Enemy forces spotted,
UAV
over.
online and transmitting.
Supplies at your position.
Hostile enemy troops identified, do you copy?
Online and transmitting.
Hostile infantry spotted, over. Hostile enemy troops identified, do you copy?
سقط أحد الرجال! سقط أحد الرجال!
UAV transmitting on this mark.
Enemy activity, do you copy?
We've regained control. Good work, man.
Enemy activity, do you copy?
Enemy forces spotted.
Under control.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy infantry spotted.
Enemy forces spotted, over.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy infantry spotted.
UAV online and transmitting.
Enemy forces. Enemy infantry spotted.
Enemy infantry spotted!
Enemy forces spotted, over.
UAV is being low on fuel. Transmission ending.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy infantry spotted.
Enemy unit on the move, do you copy? Position cleared and under control. Enemy activity, do you copy?
First aid! Here!
Enemy forces spotted.
UAV transmitting on this mark.
activity. Enemy units on the move. Enemy units on the move. Enemy units on the move. Enemy troops. Enemy activity. Enemy troops. Copy. Enemy activity. Do you copy?
Well done,
Enemy
guys.
units on the move.
UAV transmitting on this mark.
We're taking
Enemy
casualties,
activity.
over.
Do you copy? Enemy units on the move. Enemy activity. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy troops.
Outpost is being overrun.
Medic.
Advance to this position.
UAV transmitting on this mark.
Enemy forces, over. Hostile infantry spotted, over.
UAV is no on fuel. Transmission ending.
I need a medic here. Enemy
Online
troops.
and transmitting.
Medic.
Move out! Attack here!
UAV transmitting on this mark.
Enemy troops. Medic.
ألقيت قنبلة.
Enemy activity. Do you copy?
Ammo here. Get ammo here. Get ammo here. Get ammo here.
All
UAV
clear.
is no on fuel.
Position under control. Out.
Enemy activity.
Supplies in your position.
UAV transmitting on this mark.
Enemy activity. Do you copy?
First aid here. Get first aid here.
Enemy troops.
Enemy troops.
Hostiles on the ground. Enemy troops. Enemy units on the move. Hostiles on the ground.
Hostile forces spotted. Enemy spotted. Enemy forces spotted.
Enemy troops. Enemy activity. Enemy units on the move. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy units on the move.
UAV transmitting
Enemy units
on
on
this
the
mark.
move. Enemy units on the move. Enemy activity. Do you copy? identified. Do you copy? Enemy units on the move. Hostiles on the ground.
Outpost is being overrun.
Enemy activity. Do you copy?
All clear. Position under control. Out.
UAV online and transmitting.
Enemy troop. Enemy troops on the ground. Enemy activity. Do you copy?
This farm. UAV online and transmitting.
I need a running dry. Do you copy? Over. Enemy
We've lost control of an outpost.
I'm bingo on ammo. Hey, thanks.
Transmitting on this farm.
I need a medic here! We're losing men left and right. Do you copy? Supplies at your position.
Enemy units on the move.
UAV online and transmitting.
Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy troops! Running dry. Need ammo. Over. Enemy units on the move. Enemy units on the move.
UAV online and transmitting.
Enemy units on the move. Medic. Medic.
Supplies at your position.
UAV online and transmitting.
Enemy troops!
Position cleared and under control.
Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy activity. Enemy units on the move. Enemy troops! copy?
UAV transmitting on this mark.
Enemy activity. Do you copy? On the ground. Enemy forces, over. Hostile forces spotted, over. Enemy units on the move. Enemy units on the move. Do you copy? Enemy forces, over. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Do you copy?
Outpost is being overrun.
Enemy forces, over. Enemy troop. I need a medic quick. Do you copy?
UAV online and transmitting.
Enemy troops identified. Do you copy?
Position cleared and under control.
Hostiles on the ground.
UAV online.
Hostiles on the ground. Running dry. Need ammo. Over. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy units on the move. Enemy units on the move. I'm bingo on ammo. Do you copy?
All fine.